Howdy neighbors, David here. And today on Boondock Stallions, we are continuing our 31 Days of Horror by watching Psycho 3. The first one directed by longtime star Anthony Perkins. Now before we get started, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment after you subscribe saying you subscribed down below to have your name entered in for a chance to win money on my Halloween live stream. I'm going to draw 3 names out of a hat. The first name is going to get $50. The second name I draw will get $25. And the third name I draw will get $10. All of this will be paid out by me. YouTube is in no way responsible for paying out this cash. You will just have to wait for me to Venmo you, Cash App you, Facebook Pay, Google Pay, whatever. Anyways, so Psycho 3. Probably one of the more interesting sequels because it's really hard with sequels to make them good. Psycho 2, for example, is a phenomenal example of how you can have a sequel be just as good as the original that perfectly lives up to it. Even though, yes, it came out 22 years later, it was an amazing sequel. And then Psycho 3 decided it needed to be more of an 80s slasher flick, turning Mother into kind of like the Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, iconic killer of the franchise. Because if we're being perfectly honest, I don't give some of the kill counts to Norman because Norman isn't the one killing. It's Mother killing. Technically, Norman's killed his mother, her lover, Mrs. Spool at the end of part 2, and Duke. That is it. That is 4 people in 3 movies, whereas Mother has murdered everybody else. So I like to keep that in mind. Anthony Perkins also, in keeping up with trying to make this a slasher film, they made a few choices that I wasn't completely thrilled about. For example, when Norman is moving the young girl's body from where he's had it hidden in his ice machine to putting it in the trunk of Duke's car, he stops and takes a beat to kiss her. That was weird. Like, why? What was served from that? We all know Norman's absolutely insane. We've known this since the first movie. I don't see that scene serving any purpose other than to get people to go, ugh, while watching it in the theater. So I'm going to keep that. What? Oh, yes. My lovely assistant Ray, my puppy, has just reminded me to take a moment of silence right now for the actor who played Gunther on Friends having passed away. James Michael Tyler, you will be absolutely 120% missed. And I'm currently binge watching the Friends series. I bought it on Blu-ray, and it's been an amazing thing to have ever since. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Gunther. So when they get to Psycho 4, they really do their best to pretend that Psycho 3 didn't happen. And I mean, they acknowledge that Norman did commit another series of murders. And actually, you know what? Let me stop you right there. Because technically, Psycho 4, now that I'm thinking about it, could just be a sequel, a direct sequel to Psycho 1. Oh my goodness, now that I think about it, yeah. Because they don't actually reference parts 2 and 3, especially the fact that the news reporter in part 3 lets Norman know that Mrs. Spool was locked up in a mental institution his entire life because she went insane after her lover chose her sister, Norma Bates, over her, and they fell in love, got married, and had a child, and she kidnapped baby Norman because he was the child that she was supposed to have with her husband, and then she murdered her husband, or ex-husband, or, I'm sorry, Norman's father, in a jealous rage. And in Psycho 4, you find out that he was stung to death by bees. And, well, I guess she could have set that up, but they don't really mention 2 or 3, or Mrs. Spool, or the fact that Norma ever even had a sister in the first place. So you could just assume that you got to see Norman got out of the mental institution off camera somewhere from Psycho 1 to Psycho 4, Psycho 4 being a true Psycho 2, and then none of that history ever happened. He never went back to the hotel in the 80s, and all of that is just an alternate timeline. There it is. I just found an alternate timeline in the Psycho franchise, with Psycho 1 and 4 being back-to-back Psycho sequels as 1 and 2. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Be excellent to each other, and we're going to miss you, Gunther.